Okay, everybody, here we are back with the fascinating Tyree, and here we go. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for listening. I'm trying to do a live show next month, so we will keep you posted.
Pride's coming.
Pride is coming.
See the rainbow colors at the bottom? Shout out to my sister who designed this, Manio. He's a genius, creative, everything, basically. But he made the sign for me.
So during our break, Tyree was telling me about a documentary that he's interested in doing. But let me chime in one thing, because I want to talk about, for me, with my projects and stuff like that, I never really think about who the audience is. Because I feel like if something is meaningful enough to me to like do all the work of making it happen, I think it's going to be meaningful for other people too.
Well, I mean, this person who I admire as a photographer and as a I mean, he has more expertise in this area. So basically, when I pitched the idea, and the idea was about at Glide, we have a gay bi men's group. That's a social group, So basically, it kind of stemmed from research that showed that, and sort of after the AIDS crisis, more or less, that men that were more engaged in community, and they had social things to do, engaged in less risky behavior.
Yeah.
So basically, we became a group to get together and have a potluck, or go bowling, or go watch a movie,
Yeah.
Which I love to embrace that, because basically I never had seen a gay group get together and it not be about sex and drugs,
Yeah.
And here it was, this spiritual community that had started this, and from Marcel, to George, to Curtis, to Lamont, to Reggie, to Ramon, and Steve Heiser and myself, we're all co-chairs of that group. We're great role models, of, men that were gay and of color also, sprinkled the rainbow. So what I've like to do, and we've kind of just summed up recently a chapter of the Gay Bi Men's Group, and it's just a pamphlet on some of the things that we've done, from the back to school celebration, to taking the kids ice skating during the winter, to taking them bowling during the spring. I just want to capture that, how the group got started as a template and a blueprint for other spiritual communities to use.
Yeah.
Because we were able to do some great things, and I was able to tell Cecil Williams on his 88th birthday this year to say thank you, because Cecil had mentioned that. He goes, I always thought I was fighting with God when I let gays into the church.
Wow.
But he said that the God that I serve would love everybody.
Yeah.
And he goes, I wanted you guys to know that.
Yeah.
And so on his 80th birthday, I gave him that pamphlet, and I said, thank you for letting us in the church to help you make this world a better place. And I wanted you to know that. Yeah. And so basically being able to see what him and Janice Mary Catani, his wife, has helped create, as far as this spiritual community that was embraces unconditional love and just everybody, is amazing, as I'm still learning more. Yeah. But the fact that I've been able to have that moment with him, to let him know, to say thank you for doing what you did so many years ago, I appreciate it. He saved so many people's lives that he'll never know, really the capacity. But I'm glad I still get to interact with him. And so even just talking to him on Sunday, and he's talking about those things. So I got to remember, the Library of Congress is where those things came from.
Oh yeah, well I'll send them to you again.
Please do.
I found really cool material. I found like flyers and stuff from Glide Memorial Church, which was very cool, and there were names of people I recognized, and another that Tyree recognized more so.
Oh, yeah.
And I brought some of the material to my friend QR, who recognized a lot of the names too, of like people that were less known. They were like people he knew because he was in New York at the time, and so exciting. And it's just so important to get those stories down
out there and sharing them. So like I said, I totally appreciate that. And now that I really know where those came from, because now I'm thinking of, because actually Cecil was in his wheelchair talking to me about, he goes about those pictures. And I know he was now referring to what you said to me. Because we take pictures during the spring, him and his wife and I have, either my bunny ears on or, or a flower. But he was talking about what you sent to me. And I didn't get it then, but now I know. So next time I see him, I
Yeah.
want to have him print them out. I did tell him I was going to print them out
Yeah.
so I could give him a copy of it in some way, you know. But he's been chiming in on a lot of the history he has created. And you know that he does feel good about that, you know what I'm saying?
Well, good.
As
yeah.
he's getting older, and he knows, he's already mentioned it, I'm not going to be here forever, you
Yeah.
know? And he's preparing for his own transition, but he knows that what's been set up will continue.
Well, and there's been different documentaries about Glide.
Right.
That,
So
yeah,
that they've been a part
fortunately.
of.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is this particular piece about this gay group, you know, like I said, I can't say too much. I can't say even more about it. To have a spiritual community that accepted you as you are, I know there's not a lot out there, you know? And there's still a lot more lives to be saved, you know?
Well, yeah.
And so the thing about it is, I just would love to be able to have even just a short, you know, documentary or film, even when he gave his blessings for this to happen, you know? And then Marcel, who actually worked at Glide, and, you know, he did a lot more of the HIV type of stuff,
Yeah.
and he was getting, you know, funding from Project, you know, Stop AIDS
I
and
mean,
things
it
like
was
that.
those people
So-
to me are heroes.
Right. And so, like I
mean,
said, to be able to have
yeah.
connected all the dots to where
Yeah.
we are now, to what we've been able to do, is still amazing for me to know.
Yeah.
And I still want to be able to preserve that to share with others, you know, and especially other spiritual communities that you can too have these types of groups that can help, you know, bring people together, because that's what it was. And I mean, you know, basically, as far as the people that were supportive of being, you know, because we do have we have a Pride team now. So Glide has an all year round team that's about
Wow.
us being in the Pride parade. And that was a birth from, you know, the Gay Bi Men's group. So we brought the women in. It adds a whole new energy to things.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is that being able to preserve, celebrating who you are can go on, you know. And so right now, these next 2 months, the Pride team's rearing up to get things going. We have a fundraiser called Springalicious, which is coming up sometime at this month.
Fundraiser coming up, y'all.
Yeah, so like I said, it's a drag show. So it's from the drag community,
Okay, yeah.
giving back and saying, here's our piece of the puzzle.
Yeah.
It's always been a hoot. It's always been a great, you know, turnout. And so it's always to know that there's a spiritual community out there that has a drag show, you know what I'm saying, that is giving back to them being in the
And
parade.
It's just
It's
so huge
amazing.
for people to be themselves. I mean,
Right.
so many. It's a big another big interest of mine. I mean, so many
Right.
people have just such painful
Right.
memories of the
Right.
church or and so
Right.
trying to find something for themselves
Right.
is just so hard.
And I mean, I
Yeah.
think I had written in one of the Glide Talk, you know, kind of newsletter about Glide makes room at the table for everyone, and that's the reason why I love it, is because basically there is room at the table for everybody, no matter if you're an atheist, no matter if you're, you know,
Yeah.
a Catholic or, you know, Jewish or whatever, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? There's room at the table for you, you know, and so come, you know, be with community and come celebrate life.
Yeah.
And that's what Cecil calls the services, our celebrations.
Wow.
So they're not service, it's not mass, you
Yeah.
come celebrate life.
Yeah.
You know, so the documentary piece, like I said, it's a not, I mean, I want to say it's a far-fetched idea, but I'm putting those ideas out in the universe, you know. And now that we have the template of
Yeah.
the history of the group kind of in writing somewhat of some of the things we have done, and now I'm tapping into those people and into those strengths that we have amongst our own community.
Yeah.
You know, so that's the thing about it that's been amazing with Glide, is that, you know, you put it out there, somebody's going to know how to do it.
Right.
And so, I mean, spiritually putting it out there and just being wholehearted about it, it can happen. You know what I'm saying? So it's just reminding me, myself, that this can come to, you know,
Yeah.
come to light, you know. And so I appreciate you encouraging me to talk about it,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
more, because the person who I did talk to, you know, about it more closely, who asked me the questions, he was just saying, who's the area? Because basically I look at, like, you know, just going to, you know, even the LGBT Film Festival,
Yeah.
and looking at the short films that they have going on there. I could see this being one of those.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, so
Yeah.
that's why it's not so far-fetched, you know.
Yeah.
And so as I've seen those films and just, you know, But like I said, I too do know those people. They are a part of that Glide family. You know what I'm saying? So so it's just reaching out and getting it to the right place and the right space, and it can happen. You know. And as we're gearing up towards Pride, Esther Pride's coming up, you guys. So if you're out in the Bay Area, come visit us. You can come visit us at Glide. I usually share my story on that day, and then the whole church goes and marches in the parade with us.
Wow.
So you are welcome to come and march in the parade. So it's a really, getting your praise on the street out there is what we do. We put our music on and get out there and get our praise on the street. So you just forget all the people around you because you're so into the music, you know?
Yeah.
So if you like gospel music, come on. Come be with us. All right.
Cool.
But yeah, so I'm usually down at the information table downstairs in Freedom Hall. So if you come down there, ask for Tyree. I'm usually running around with a chicken like my head cut off. There's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
But come down, you can ask, and I'll be down there.
Yeah.
So.
Well, yeah, it's a wonderful, it's so hard. I mean, it's just hard to get the money to make a film. But, if you stop, you can't, not think about stuff just because of that, because then you'll just be paralyzed.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and when there at Glide, when you put things out there, there's never an issue. I mean, like I said, let me tell you, I mean, we had an auction, basically Cecil's sister-in-law, basically made these pies, and they would auction off the pies. So basically, this is back in the day, each pie would go for $1,000. And then each person who bought it for $1,000 from the first service donated it back so it can be auctioned off at the second service. And they would once again go for another $1,000.
Wow.
So out of 4 pies, they were making like $8,000, I mean, that's just one of the fundraisers. And then Springlicious brings in a lot.
I'd bring home some pie like that, and I'd be afraid to eat a pie like that.
But it's because everybody knew where that money was going towards, or what the reason was. And being a part of that parade as a spiritual community, we need to be present. We need to let them know that the community out there, that there is a spiritual place for you, and God loves you just as you are, so don't think you have to be different or change. Come praise with somebody, go to a church that accepts you. Yeah. Don't sit there and be at no church that doesn't, okay?
And it's such a big thing, like a big, trying to break isolation. And I mean, a church is a community.
And let me tell you, Glide does a great job at doing that. There's a lot of congregational life groups, I mean, I know when Karen, Olavito, who's now bishop, really came in and really gave those congregational life groups like ours, the Gay Bi Men's Group and Pride Team, real, just support and structure, and it did make sense to me. We are trying to reach out and engage that there's something for everybody here.
I just think it's so important to do films like the one you're talking about, because there's still a whole lot of films about gay people, which is just about us dying.
Right. So
and
this is true.
It's just it's heroism to me. It's like it's heroic to get up in the face of a world and say, like, I'm gonna love God. I'm gonna love my I'm gonna love my family. I'm gonna do stuff for people.
Right.
And
we can, and it is, So like I said, you are right, and having, I try to, watch as many. I just watched a documentary about like HIV in the South, and I was just looking at the struggle that these brothers have to go through, and my heart just dropped, just realizing what they have to do just to even survive. And it was kind of like a little support group. We take things for so granted. We're, in the area here, but some people are really struggling. So my prayers and thoughts are going out to all those people around the country, around the world, that are still having to struggle to be who they are, And I want them to know that we are there with them in prayer, and if they're ever around, come visit us. You know what I'm saying? Because you're going to be embraced, So it's just seeing, some of these documentaries recently just really tear my heart still, And even going to that recent meeting out here, that we were at. And I was just, because even though we're only not that far from San Francisco, it seemed like a throwback to me, you know what I'm saying? Where there wasn't a lot of color, and there wasn't a lot, I was like, and the things that they were still struggling to do, the testing and having to test it. I was like, wait a minute, you're only 30 minutes from San Francisco.
Yeah.
What is going on here,
Yeah.
And it really threw me for a loop for a moment, as I'm, changing roles at Glide, a little bit. And so I just, man, I mean, I love to be supportive, but it was saddening to me, you know, to not see more, for one, diversity, and two, the things that they're still having to struggle with, and be 30 minutes outside San Francisco, you know.
Yeah.
I just thought, wait a minute, you know, what is going on here, you know? So like I said, I'm still supportive if I can, you know. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be in Vallejo, but still.
Oh, really?
I just, yeah.
Do you have an idea where you might be moving, or?
It'll still be in the Bay Area
Okay.
somewhere. So like I said, I won't be leaving the Bay Area, but still. But the thing about it is still being able to have my, you know, opportunity to still be supportive in some way and see still where there's a need. Because I want to make sure we're still reaching out. We're still being connected because we still have people who live out in these areas too. So I want us to be a voice and be support also, you know. But other than that, you know.
I've been doing a lot of work or volunteering with the Solano Seniors Coalition. And hello, Kay Patrice, delighted. And that's just, I mean, it's just been really interesting. I've just met like really interesting new people, and you know, because I think about it, it's trying to get, that's going to be a big part of our lives. We have a lot of time to be old,
Right.
and you know, right now there's just so many services for seniors being cut, and so it's just been really also remarkable to see all the people that are coming, of all ages, that are coming in because they know seniors are important.
Right.
But you know, I mean, I was thinking about that with what you were saying about diversity, because it's really hard, you know, especially when people are old. You know, you want people to be where they're comfortable,
Well, right,
and where they
right.
can be themselves.
Right. Well, I just went to a training just the other day about aging. So
Yeah.
the
Oh.
company that I worked for at Toolworks,
Yeah.
you know, my boss signed me up. It was in Berkeley at this Evans campus, which is a base that they have a facility for all kinds of disabled, you know, abilities and things like that.
Yeah.
So they utilize that spot. But this training was called 101 Aging, you know, given by an MD that talked about the different facets, you know,
Oh,
that people
good.
that are aging. So we
Yeah.
had to, you know, seemed like we were partly, you know, going partly blind. We had to put on these glasses, and, you know, or it was hard to walk. So you had to have this rope tied around your legs and try to walk with a
Wow.
cane. So she was trying to really get you to understand some of the things that as you age, you began to, you know, lose, you know. But she talked about the statistics on how people are living longer and they're healthier longer if they got access to those things. You know?
Exactly. Yeah.
So it was really, you know, another one. And I had one summer I was looking through about the LGBT community aging. You know, 'cause
Yeah.
that's another area we
It's a
don't
big
tap into.
concern. Yeah.
Because basically, when they are older, they end up going back into the closet in some places that they're in because they can't just be themselves. So I was trying to find something that maybe we could start tapping into. Maybe have a time where, you know, at least once or twice a month we can get together and have a RuPaul Drag Race night and go show RuPaul's Drag
Yeah.
Race to them, you know?
Yeah.
Because everybody loves RuPaul, okay? If you don't, you know, you better move to some other planet, you know? But,
Yeah. Well, I know
yeah.
you're busy, but we
Yeah.
have plenty of stuff with the Solano Seniors Coalition.
Yeah.
You ever want to pop in? We'd
Yeah.
love to see you.
Well, like I said, you know, being able to know that they're out there, and I
Yes.
do want to try to make my rounds, you know, just to realize and let you know that there is support out there. We'll keep you in our prayers if we can't be there, you know.
Yeah.
And if we can connect some other people to some of those things, then I'm a connect the dot kind of person.
Yes.
You know, I might not be able to be there myself, but I might know somebody else who could be there.
Yeah.
You know, or could use that. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing about it. We all need each other. So
We do.
so that's the thing about it. It's we are a family. So
Yes. We are a family. Hey, we are about to be winding up, family. Thank you to everybody that was watching.
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Any shout outs?
Well, not that I can think of.
Well, Manio, my color guard sister, and all my, you know, just anybody, you know, anybody who knew, all right, that paid attention. Thanks for watching, you guys.
Our future office holder. Yeah, we got to get Ms. Williams on here sometime.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Thanks for tuning in.
We will see everybody next month.
Yay!
Yay. Thank you, Tyree.
All right.